Hello everyone, welcome 868 back to more 868 back. This is still the demo. There's a playlist at the beginning of the first video. I explain more about what's going on here. You can watch that if you are confused, but we're in the middle of the first streak? I don't know how the overall structure of 868 back works. In 868 hack, there was basically you would win a game, and then you'd go on to another game, and that would be part of your streak. And like the games would get easier and harder as you went, but each game was basically separate from all the others, except that, like, you know, if you played enough games in a row, they would be harder. There was no real connection between them other than that. And if you won a bunch of games in a row, it added all your scores together and like put that on a high score list somewhere. Whereas in Cinco Paus, there's a much more strong connection between the games in a streak. And I don't know which of those approaches 868 back is going to take. But I have finished one game of whatever the overall structure is. And that seems to have been this one. The Goodwill's 8-bit BBS, multiplier of 1, we started with /range and swap, dot swap, I guess. And we're offered what looks like a choice here, except that this one is currently locked. I do not have access to this for whatever reason. It says hack 3 unified servers to gain access. I don't know what that means. This is unified executive. So there's different corps who have different behaviors of some kind. Maybe these are the blue guys. Yellow is Goodwell's. I don't know. This one has a multiplier of 4, which seems crazy. All of my points will be worth 4 times as much here, if I understand correctly. But then there's also all these like things making the game harder, I guess. So our starting dev, instead of being, oh, in addition, we're adding it to our /range? Maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out. We're either going to replace /range with /glitch, give us the permission to move through walls, or we're going to get both of them, it looks like. Now we're going to start with the prog push. Not my favorite, but fine. And then there's these things, power-ups. Everybody loves power-ups, right? Well, in 868 hack, and apparently 868 back, they call these bonuses, actually, it looks like. They were called power-ups in the previous game. They were power-ups for the bad guys, not for you. Encrypted progs? This should mean that the prog cubes, the things you siphon to get points or progs, you can't tell what's in them. They're black boxes instead of white boxes. Virus motion improved. Viruses move, it says take an extra turn. I think you just mean they move 3 instead of 2. And then also, this is somehow related to the Basilisk Corp. So like, maybe the more hacking I do in Basilisk, the more of these things will be unlocked. Whereas the top 2 are just randomly selected for this specific server, maybe? Generated websites. Haha, websites. Ensnare customers with attention-grabbing network. Well, I don't know what this is. There was no analog to this in 868 hack. But I'm excited to dive in. It makes sense, I suppose, that the multiplier is 4 times as high because the difficulty scales up way faster than it did in 868 hack. You got to play at least 2 games in a row with no power-ups. I think on game 3 you got your first 1 power-up. And you didn't get 2 power-ups until like game 5 or something. Very rarely did I even get far enough to have 3 power-ups. I don't know if you could ever get more than 3. I don't think so. I don't know. But so this 3 power-ups, this is serious business. So it makes sense that the score multiplier is so high. Welcome to Basilisk. You collected data worth 50 points. New music, by the way. But Basilisk data is so much more valuable. Oh, that's it? The game's over? Your adventure is just beginning, and I'm afraid you'll have to wait for the full version of 868 back to discover what happens next. I see. I mean, I get it. It's a demo, but I thought they might show me some of the new stuff. There were a couple new progs. Well, let's do another basic run, I guess. And just see if we get a different set of progs or if those were the only ones available in the demo. And even if we don't get anything new, hey, at least we get to play some more 868 hack. Because it is 868 back, of course, I know. But nothing... It didn't feel like that much new stuff happened here. It felt a lot like a game like of 868 hack. But just with new progs and some concepts like boosting that I didn't know about before. We have range and base again. Okay. So, bind is interesting. I liked slash. I'd like to try out ones I've never used before, never seen, right? Flame I used a little bit in the expansion, but I didn't play that much of it. Plan B. So I think I'll just try to grab slash and bind from here. It's a very defensible position. It's not perfect. So we could be in a little danger. I guess I should grab a few more resources first if I'm going to do that, huh? Let's come up here. So bind takes question marks amounts of energy plus one more. Void prog cubes. So it looks like I could spend 4 energy to gain flame, maybe? It says to gain script. That's what I don't really understand yet. Oh, I forgot. I start with cull. Sure. Ugh. Let's try a slash? Oh, I should have been on the lookout for good slashes earlier, actually. So maybe if these guys had all been lined up here, killing like a bunch of enemies could have been cool, I guess. But if I don't do something now, I'm going to have real problems with these glitches, aren't I? Nothing's going to be diagonal for me ever again. Yeah. Okay, well this sucks a lot. Ow. Help! Wait. Oh, there must have been a Cryptog here that I didn't notice. I thought it was going to put me here. It's fine. Help! Okay, I was too brave. Taking on 10 enemies right at the beginning was too much. All right, give me another go. I didn't get to see how that that new prog worked. Void. No. It voided things. What was it called? Bind. Yeah. And Reap, that was the one that blew up demons, right? That's D-Bomb. Yeah. I have Scan this time. Boost costs 6. That's crazy to me. I assume in a full game you would have a bunch more boostable things, and so that's why it can do a lot. But at the start, it's like a really bad reset. It's a reset that costs 1 more energy, and also, like, reset cost 1 or 2 instead of 6. In terms of the number of enemies you had to fight to get it. Hopefully there aren't too many glitches. I could die from just glitches, basically. 2 is a little bit of a lot. Help. Okay, that didn't go too badly. It was like 2 scans and 1 damage, I think. Well, certainly 1 damage. I believe just 2 scans. Cull doesn't seem very good. Especially if you have range. And oh, I don't have range this time. Oh! / skip. So you can actually skip turns with this. Huh. Okay. But only if there's a wall to bump into. That's cool. Well, we could take Row, just a decent tool. It would be more fun to... Let's try to be splashy. Let's grab... Ah, I noticed Bind lit up a last move and is not lit up now. So it cost me 5 energy to grab... So I think it just gets you Row without spending a Siphon. Maybe you still have to spend the fight the 4 enemies. Maybe you don't. I don't know. It doesn't let me grab points, does it? No. Okay. Well, let's just grab Crash. It's much flashier, splashier. For example, I don't have enough credits. I can't crash. Oh my god, I'm so bad at this game. It's fine though. Okay, we're out of here? I guess I could grab another prog, couldn't I? But I don't want to risk getting into a fight. Oh, but I do heal. I just have to do it manually, right? Okay, what else do I want? I already have Crash. Lock? No, Fork. Oh, I want to know what Fork is. Duplicate user seems crazy. Whatever it is, it seems cool. The problem is I don't really have any credits to defend myself with. There's not really a good place to get any except here, which is a very dangerous place to stand. It would be... I could use some energy to, like, .bind this fork, but I don't know if that would spawn 8 enemies. I could not really cope with it. So maybe I'll grab this pole using an actual siphon. And then I'll see what happens when I bind. I still don't have access to crash. Wow. Okay, I could just die if this spawns 8 enemies. It doesn't, though. What? Why is this over here? Script 1 out of 1. What? Alright, so these are my progs. This is a script. I don't really know what that means. This is a script cube, and this is a prog cube. What in the hell is the difference? That's a script cube. That's a prog cube. Do not know. I mean, it says script 1 out of 1, so I assume I could not steal another. But in that case, like, doesn't that make bind quite weak if it can only... You have to fight off 6 enemies to get you permission to get another program in the future? I guess I didn't have to fight off the 8 enemies for fork, so there is that. You guys are the worst. I guess it's fine. See me juking him there? With normal 868 hack, you'd have to back up. Because if you walked forward, he would hit you, and you can't pass. But I'm trying to make use of my little slash skip to pass a turn. Which I'm very used to doing from, you know, like... Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup or Crypt of the Necrodancer, right? You can pass a turn to get a better parity with an enemy. One of the features of roguelikes is you usually can't. So this is a power that seems interesting. Just need more resources, man. There's a big pile of them down here by this swap. I don't think I want to pull. That would be foolish. Just taking a damage here feels a bit bad. But I think that's what I'm doing. Good. And then I guess I'll grab column. Oh, it's a virus. I should have just kept walking away. Or I suppose I could try to get some points, but no. Or just siphon resources here, but I want more tools. Give me column. I guess instead of... I could pass and hope I could shoot him next turn, but if he goes north, then I'd have to pass again. I think I'd rather just go east and guarantee I can get him. Scan works very well in close quarters with viruses. I mean, antivirus is what the in 868 hack there was like one program that specialized in dealing with each kind of enemy. I think they all cost exactly 3. No, that's not true. The one for dealing with demons and viruses and glitches, each of those cost 3 credits to use, and just like killed them under certain conditions. Well, that's not true. The demon one we see again in this game. It blew up the nearest, all the demons that were equally close to you at the closest range, damaging nearby enemies. The glitch one is in this game as well. It kills anything that is not on a floor cell by itself. The virus one, in this game we have scan, in the other one we had antivirus. Scan seems more interesting. Antivirus just damaged all viruses on screen by 1, but it costs 3 credits instead of just 1. Scan is more restricted. It seems more interesting. I wouldn't venture to say whether it's better or worse. Why do I still have a data siphon? Did I not use all of them on the last floor? Did I start with one? I don't think I did. I must have forgotten one on an earlier floor, and that's why I feel so broke. Anyway, and the thing for dealing with cryptogs, I think, was just a way to see them. You could turn on... what was it called? It gave your character like a third eye. They could see psychic thing. They could see psychically. It let you see cryptogs no matter where they were on the screen, and it also let you see what incoming transmissions were going to be, and it let you see through encrypted cubes. I don't remember what it was called. It was like reveal or something? I don't know. I haven't seen an analog to it in this game. Well, let's just grab this, I guess. Not very ambitious, but... I still haven't found, you know, I'd love to see what Fork does, but until I'm in a situation where I feel like I need a new tool, I'm not going to use one. Or until I feel like I'm about to win anyway. I don't want to waste resources for nothing, you know? Let's scan. Yeah, so it looks like there's a fairly limited number of progs available in the demo. It's not like by playing it again, I'm seeing a bunch of new stuff. What are we doing now? I already have column. Let's grab 3 points. Sure. I mean, I could take Reap, I guess, but I don't think I need it. And then, I mean, I could just take the siphon into the next floor. There's a decent resource patch here. But I'm feeling pretty rich at the moment. Let's try to save up and get more points. Don't really need to call them or anything like that. We haven't even used Crash this game, actually. I know what Crash is. But if you never played 868 Hack, you may not. And it would be a shame if I went the whole game without using Crash, so I'll try to find an excuse to use it. Oh, I can pass turns. Okay, I didn't have to waste that much time getting that guy lined up. I will say... it feels a little bit easier in this game to accidentally, like... to make a turn... So, like, when an enemy transmission appears, generally at that point, I want to pause, evaluate whether it's a threat, what do I need to do about it, or is it something I can easily just handle? And I feel like I'm not noticing the transmissions always on the turn they appear. It seems like I take my turn, and then I'm already pressing the button for my next turn, and then the game says, oh, a thing showed up. I'm not sure what exactly is causing that. I don't think I'm playing faster than I was in 868 Hack, and I didn't really have that problem very much. So I don't know what that is about. Just it's a bit of feedback that it feels a little bit different to me, and I've like it is a small problem. Which could be addressed any number of ways. For example, just getting used to it if the timing is a little different. Or maybe it's the same and I just don't remember. There's some trigger, you know, some... What's the word I'm thinking of? Like a cue, some sort of... I'm not sure. I think this is a fine column. Trying to fight all of this without column seems quite difficult. Well... I could swap. If I got lucky enough to go over here, I'd be very happy. But if I swapped with this guy, or God forbid, this guy, I would not be very happy. Column just, like, solves all the problems. Not easy to get more points here, huh? Like, this 4 is very awkwardly positioned. And I still have 2 siphons left. I guess I need more energy? I could go grab Slash. I could be very brave and try to stand here, take Slash and Flame and the 4 points. Seems like kind of suicidal. But I do want the points. I don't want to float like 2 siphons into the next sector. Do I? Maybe I do. I don't know. I guess grabbing Poly here is fine. And I'll save this siphon for a larger data cube. Is that what these are called? Yeah. Okay. So by the way, I noticed bind is still lit up, telling me like, oh yeah, you can still like bind this, even though it says 1 out of 1. As if I couldn't have more. I don't know. Weird. Oh yeah, I got a boost. Maybe the slash button. I'll try that next time. Maybe the slash key does all of my slash boosts. So Poly should randomize all of them, is how I remember it working before. I mean, Crash wouldn't be crazy here. Oh, let's see what Fork does. It just made me wiggle? Oh. I see. So I had only one use of that program because I only stole it. I bound it. I didn't actually siphon it. So it made another copy of me that was allowed to move, and it moved onto this tile. Spooky. Can we try a column then? This one did it. This one didn't. Or, well, I guess there's nothing in its column, so fair enough. Okay, so it's multi-ball, and they both take... Whatever key I press, they both do. Okay. And this one's taken 2 damage, but that makes sense. It was attacked by 2 enemies on the same turn. Tough to manage both of these guys doing something useful at the same time, I guess. So if I siphon, they're both gonna siphon, right? So I could like pick up coal and 9 points at the same time and then have a very exciting fight on my hands. Or I could move west and pick up 9 and a 5 at the same time. Oh my god. I gotta try it, right? We did it. Okay. Sure. Should be exciting. So I think this Oh, I've already forgotten the name of the program we used that duplicated us. Fork. I think it's kind of this game's version of Dot Attack, which was an 8. It just like Fork. It was defended by 8 monsters, 8 tasks, and I think its cost was very large. It was like 4 energy and 4 credits, maybe, or at least 3 and 3. I don't remember exactly. Maybe it was only 4 and 2. I don't know. But it powered you up so that for the rest of the level, your attack did twice as much damage. So you could one-shot most enemies and two-shot demons. It feels... this is kind of a similar way to double your power that is more interesting. I like this. It feels weaker for sure, but also stronger in some ways, right? Like, it's weaker for combat, but I got to spend 1 siphon picking up a ton of resources. So it's a more interesting trade-off. Okay, I mean... good luck! I mean, here's the thing. I've been saying I need an excuse to use Crash, and I see a very exciting one. What I'd like to do here is... oh. Okay, I need to think this through. I had an idea, which was to use Pull, to pull the enemies closer to me by 1. And just like Push, this ignores walls. It even allows enemies to be on top of each other or on top of you. And so this would make them all very close to me, and then I could crash and really like blow them all up. But what if I used swap instead? That would really put me in the middle of things, and then I might have a really big crash. I think it could be fun, right? I mean, even column is pretty strong at the moment. But I have a lot of credits. I want an excuse to use crash. And swap is a very cheap way to set up what seems like a powerful crash. So let's try that. Not the best, but not the worst. Problem is I'm blowing up all of this stuff if I do that. What am I on right now? Reap. What if I just siphoned again? Let the multi-ball die. It's kind of funny, isn't it? But I would get to pick up 12 more points. Actually, I think maybe I could compromise. What if I defend him with just scan for a minute? Until he's got a bit more breathing room. Scan the virus, shoot the Cryptog. Scan the virus, shoot the Cryptog. But he'd still just be surrounded by demons, right? With no clear way to kill them. Yeah, I think I'll just do another siphon here. I mean, I don't know. It would be pretty cool. There aren't even 12 more spots to spawn enemies, so I'd be getting a discount. Alright, I'm in. Sorry, buddy. Oh, they actually will spawn on walls. Okay, no discount. Oh, really? So... So I had 7 progs, and I siphoned these 2. And I got Reap permanently, but I got a script copy of Pull. I don't know what the reason for that is. Okay, good to know, I guess. Even though I don't understand it. This is what I always... You don't get to see this that often in 868 hack. I've certainly done it on occasion, but I would not be playing this way on a streak, let me tell you. But I'm experimenting with how the new progs work. Alright, well let's swap a bit, try to get into the middle of things. Swap is very cheap. Try to get to a spot... Yeah, okay. It's not that great. That's not that great. Yeah, that's okay. I was hoping to get, like, swapped with this guy, you know? And then just pull once or twice to get a bigger crash. It's basically using pull to kill 2 enemies, which is okay. Well, crash is what's killing them, obviously. But I'm saying if we assume crash is gonna kill 4 enemies right now, I could use a pull to get 2 more in. Or like 2 pulls would get, I don't know, a lot of enemies. I'm a bit light of power though, so I don't really want to do that. Let's just crash here, it should be fun. There you go, that's what crash looks like. Kill everything adjacent to you, including walls. Oh, I forgot. Reap should be quite strong here, right? Could blow up all the closest demons and damage everything near them. Sure. Hang on, why didn't anyone take a turn? You guys should have moved. Well, at least you should have. Something I don't understand there. Alright, I'll take it, I guess. Oh, there were some cryptogs in the way? In a way that I didn't quite understand? Like, somehow, how did a cryptog end up here? But then it didn't move. I don't know. It doesn't work. I don't get it. I mean, we can crash again. It's sort of weak. Let's try reaping, maybe? It's not the greatest reap. Column to clean up all these glitches above me. How do we feel about a swap here? I kind of like it. Sure. Now scanning looks appealing, right? Oh, actually, this is a nice reap. We get 3 of them. And damage all the other enemies who are near them, of course. Yeah. I mean, the fight is not over yet. What do I want to do here? I mean, just scanning is pretty good. I guess. Yeah, now we're in position to do a bunch more scans. There we go. One more crash here, you think? I think just a reap is actually better. Easy mode, see? Totally fair to defend all of those points. And we're at 37 with a siphon to spare. Anything else I'd like to bind while I'm waiting? Not really. Let's go. An exciting fight. A difficult position I created for myself. Could have spent less resources maybe to get out of it. Because I wasted the free heal I get at the start of every level, right? So maybe I could have arranged to spend a bit less resources and take up to 2 damage. Oh! This doesn't have a cost next to it. They're both the same prog, but this one is a script version of the prog. So the tooltip on it has 3 energy, but it doesn't appear here. Whereas it does here. So I think this is actually free to use, and the fork I used must have been free too, and I just wasn't really paying attention. So that's the idea with Void, is you steal things for a single use. You had to pay the cost for Void, but you don't have to pay the cost for the thing you're stealing. Okay. Or that you're binding, whatever. Is this a good reap? It's not great. I think just scan is all I really want at the moment. I'll do it again, because although this turn I could shoot finish off the virus and not be damaged by the glitches, I would get surrounded by them a little bit too quickly. So let's get a free turn to attack the viruses. Glitches. Yeah, and then I can just reap this guy. Finish it off. So it seems like, okay, the other point about scripts is that it seems like if you siphon a prog when you are full, when you have no room for more, you get a script version of it. If I move west, the Cryptog is currently here or here, so he won't get me if I move west. And there's no visual indication of that on screen or anything, it's just I was tracking it mentally. Okay. Points. Can I get more points? Beat that 50. Take 11 more? I'm a little bit broke at the moment. I want the 9, but trying to take a 6 and a 5 at the same time might be too much. Oh, there's another fork there. I could void that. Don't have a lot of energy, though. It might help with fighting off all these enemies, defending the 6 and the 5, but it might not. It's pretty hard, as I said, to manage both of them, but getting all of your... So it's a little bit hard to get them both to fire in the sort of multi-ball, like your normal attack, because it's sort of rare for you to have enemies in the, on the same side of both of them. But getting all your programs to go off twice, that's quite powerful. The thing is, right now, I don't have a lot of resources to spend on programs, so it might not be all that good. Yeah, I think I'm going to be just a little bit timid here. That was an example, by the way, of where I pressed spacebar, and then a transmission for this guy appeared, but I didn't see it until I had already pressed the key to move up. So I don't know, like, why that's so much more common here than it was in 868 hack. How do we feel about this? Not great. Would crash solve my problem? Yeah, pretty much. Is there something cheaper that would do it? Not easily? Okay. I don't like this. Alright, let's just poly these guys, I guess. That'll finish off the demon, because it'll transform into something that only has 2 HP and it's got 2 damage on it. Yeah, and then getting a couple viruses is not a big deal. I guess, yeah, I'm gonna have to use a scan anyway, and if I'd used it last turn, I could have taken only 1 damage instead of 2. And then I might be in a position to siphon something else on this floor, but I don't really want to, so I think it's fine to have taken 2 damage there. Again, I moved before I saw that transmission. I'm sure I bear some of the blame on that, but I feel like there's some missing like visual or audio cue or a timing gap that used to be there in 868 hack that isn't, that's different here, that is causing me to miss those. I did forget about voiding the fork. Whoops. That is a lot of glitches. I guess we just call them here. Sure. And again. Oh, we're in Sector 8 already. I thought we might be on like 7. I guess it's 8. Okay. So here's a situation where passing a turn actually like saved me an HP, right? Or I mean, I could have used a program or something, but when you're off parity with a Cryptog and you don't have a way to get like a little extra distance so that he has to move in a straight line to you, you can't shake him and he'll get you eventually. But passing a turn, I was able to rectify my parity. Alright, so ideally we would get all 22 points available here and escape with a score of 65. Any bets? Anyone think we can do that? Anything worth binding here? Like I could bind a debug or something, but I'm very low on energy, so I guess I will not. I'm also low on credits, come to think of it. So probably getting all of this is too ambitious. Let's grab this 7 first. Call them these nerds. Scan. I know there's more Cryptogs out there. You will not convince me to move forward. Still another one. Yep. Okay, we have cleaned house. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the 7. But I can at least get the 8 and beat my previous score. Because the 7, I mean, you have to take so many other things as well, right? And you don't even get a lot of resources. So let's grab this. And then this. Poly, so these viruses can't sneak up on me, seems okay. Guess if the guy on my left turned into a virus, that would have been a problem. Crash? Yeah. Do I want to pull first? It would kill 2 more enemies. I don't think so. I think I can scan to deal with the virus more easily. Or easily enough and more cheaply, I should say. I guess I have a free pull. Okay. Let's draw these guys into a consuming void, shall we? Oh, I didn't realize I'd be getting a Cryptog up here as well. Just 1 or 2 more pulls? Oh yeah. That's what Crash is all about. So that's by the way, a funny way you can kill yourself. Is if you pull enemies onto you and then you debug. You're not on the floor space by yourself, and so you kill yourself. Oh, and you know, maybe if I hadn't picked up the resources here, that Crash actually makes this 7 much easier to pick up, doesn't it? So maybe I could have gotten the full 65 here. Oh well. So that was 868 back. I mean, a few interesting new concepts. It seems like most of the changes are in kind of the overworld. Like, yeah, I'm sure there are new progs and stuff, but you mostly didn't get to see them. Fork was cool. This whole idea of a modifier artifact-like thing. These look like relics, right? That looks really cool. It doesn't get explored that deeply in the demo. Having multiple different choices to choose from when you leave a level, I like that. It also, I guess, explains why they decided to heal you for full when you leave a level. Is because, like, most of the time in 868 Hack, you could get through a level without being hurt if you wanted to. But it was, like, strategically sound to lose a few resources, to spend a little bit less in terms of resources to well, it was worth it to take 1 damage on a floor if it meant you could spend a little bit less resources, because then you would get the health back anyway as you left, and otherwise it would be wasted. This gives you a reason to actually, well, if base is the only one you have, it gives you a reason to take up to 2 damage each floor, which, fine, I'm sure that's interesting. But more importantly, it gives you a reason to take no damage on a floor. If you have multiple boosts, which I assume you can, you basically get to choose one of them each floor, maybe. Maybe that's how it works? Or maybe boost does all of them? I don't really know. But, you know, maybe you use all of them every floor and then what I'm saying is not true. But I love the idea that, like, you can heal for 2, or you might have some other boost you could have that if you have avoided taking damage, you can use, like, your free once per floor gift on something else, right? That would be a cool way for things to work. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Yeah, and I see it's the same next server showing us stuff, you know, that, like, knowing about /glitch, that was quite cool, right? It turns out we don't get to play with that because it's not in the demo, but at least they tell me that's the kind of thing that exists. Would we replace our existing device or add it? I don't know. But this looks like the end of the demo, and I don't plan to do any more videos on this until the game is out. And there is no announced release date. I think he was planning to finish it sometime this year, but probably late this year? I don't know. I don't remember. Don't quote me on this. Okay, it was added, so we're not going to get to play this, but we can at least look at what the level might look like. Right, we get glitch and chip. So we get, or skip. Actually, is that chip? I guess it is chip, but it lets you skip a turn. Okay. And then there's all these webs that walking into is bad for you, I guess. Encrypted stuff, yep. So we've seen these before. Oh, and if you don't hit OK, it just fades out for you, huh? Okay. Well, that's the game. So far, I mean, you know, it hints at some things that might be available that will definitely be different from 868 Hack, but at the moment, the actual playable content is kind of just a limited version of 868 Hack, so I don't plan to revisit it until the game is over. It looks nicer than 868 Hack did, in a way, although I don't like the font. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.